Hey friends, welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Sally Allen. And today we are going to talk about when you can't give a raise or promotion because the business is going through a restructure. I just spoke to a friend of mine whose business is going through a massive restructure, and they're constantly laying off people. And it's mid-year, and he has to tell his team that they will not be getting a raise or promotion at the beginning of next year. And listen, it's tough. It almost feels like they're down and you keep kicking them while they're down. But it's the reality. And it comes with the territory. We're in corporate America. This happens all the time. The key is, how do we handle it with humanity? How do we handle it with heart-centeredness? And how do we treat people with dignity when we know that their livelihood is being impacted? It's really hard. Listen, and at the end of the day, if you're with a company and all this is going on and you feel like you're not treated fairly, there's always a choice. But if you have a leader who's trying hard for you, I will say stick it out. Obviously, unless something great comes up and hits you in the butt, then you have a choice to make. But either way, at a time when a company is going through a restructure, it's one of the hardest times for everyone. And I want to remind you of this. The leaders are also going through a hard time because they have to make some tough decisions. I have been with companies when this happened. They have to go through a restructure or something happens. And I can tell you, I know my boss is devastated every time. Once worked with a leader who actually quit the company because he said, I cannot go through another restructure. I can't deal with this. So there's the human side of the leadership team that it's not easy on them. They know what's happening. They know what you're feeling. They've been in your position once. But middle managers, I'm talking to you. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with when you have nothing or you feel like you have nothing to offer the team? What can you do when the restructure is happening? It's mid-year. They're getting nothing in January. You already know this based on the trajectory the company is going. You communicate. It's the first thing you do. Communication would be one of the most important thing that you do. Being honest with people, being open and being transparent. Now, to a point, we know there are just some things you can't share because it's confidential, but go as far as you can when it comes to being open and honest with the team. As a leader or captain of the ship, let's put it that way, you don't want to fall apart in front of your team. You want to be strong for them. You want to stand up for them. And you want to be there genuinely for them, a shoulder they can lean on. But the moment you start BSing people, you lose trust and you lose credibility. So what's happening? What is the reality? Where the business is going and what's going to happen? And even encouraging people's got to do what's best for themselves. But two, there are other workarounds if you can't give a raise and you can't give a promotion. Maybe there's a seat at the table that they've never sat at. Maybe there is a presentation in front of leadership that they've never done before. Give them more visibility. Maybe you can speak on their behalf and become a sponsor for them in the room where they're not present. That usually encourages employees. And three, listen when they speak to you. You don't always have to have the answer. A lot of times I know, oh, I just thought about this story. This leader was so afraid, not afraid, it's just so traumatizing for him to let employees go, that he will let his managers do it and go stand in the hallway. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Do the hard thing. People appreciate that more than anything else. And it's okay to give people space to be themselves as they're going through whatever they need to go through, as they're sharing how they're feeling. And fourth, if you don't fill in the blanks and you tell your employees, sorry, I'm pulling up my notes here. If you don't fill in the blanks, people will be making up stories, and they make up the worst stories. Everything that could go wrong when there is a restructure going on with the company is because of the lack of communication. If you're methodical about who you share with, how you share it, and have that structure in place, people will make up stories, but it will be less. If you don't give them something, their brain is going to try to fill it in. And the worst thing you need is one person started making up a story that's not true. The toxicity will run throughout the team. People will start being fearful. They will even quit. It's really hard on people's mental health when their livelihood is not in balance. Have the retention conversation also. Perhaps. We don't know. This might take a year. Be honest with them. This might take a year before we can even open the door to promotion and raises. But you are first one on the list, and we will take care of you because you are deserving of it. We see the hard work you are doing. So the key is build alternative packages, be transparent, have open communications, listen to people concerned no matter how crazy it is, advocate for them in a room. These are all the things you can do aside from all the drinks you can buy them. So, listen, if this episode has sparked anything in you, be sure to like and share. And remember, I always say, if you change your mindset, you can change your life. Have an amazing day until I see you in the next episode.